you probably know by now, because I've been talking about it in every single video, I have a mentorship program. It is an online course as well as full access to moi, and you can talk to me every week and go through the course online, all of that, and it's all about how to make your OnlyFans a full-time business. Now, with that being said, the most common question I get asked by my students is how to gain and keep OnlyFans subscribers. And I will say that is the hardest part about our business, is there is no discover page and it is a subscription-based platform. So really, keeping subscribers is harder than you might think. Don't stress, I am a top OnlyFans creator and I've been on the platform for 3+ years. So here are some of my best tips on how to gain and keep OnlyFans subscribers. So I know this might seem out of order, but I promise it is in order. We are gonna talk about how to keep OnlyFans subscribers first. Before even thinking about gaining subs, you wanna make sure your page is set up for success, so that once you get that first subscriber, they want to stick around and you're not gonna lose as soon as you gain. Before thinking about gaining subscribers, you wanna think about what your page is set up for. Are you set up for people to want to stick around? Good product equals happy customers, which then equals subscribers that stick around for a longer period of time. I do want to be real with you and say something that you're not going to like. You have to accept that you're going to lose subscribers. It's going to be a constant battle of push and pull and trying to gain subscribers, but then also keeping them. It's a constant battle. It's a subscription-based platform. It just is what it is. The best thing you can do is create the best content possible so that once you do gain a subscriber, they want to stick around. Make sure you're producing the best quality content that you can. And that doesn't necessarily mean like get the most expensive equipment and use a camera every single time. You can use your phone and get a ring light from Amazon, or not even have a ring light and just use natural lighting. It just means make content that somebody's gonna wanna consume and also pay for. If you're making content like everybody else, it's not creative, it's not fun, it's not enticing, it's not, it's just you in the mirror, you're probably not going to have subscribers that stick around for a long period of time, especially if you're making the same content over and over and over again. I have a full video on content ideas if that's kind of what you're struggling with, so you can check that out here. But what you're gonna wanna do is make sure that you have a ton of content on your page ready to go when you're first starting, and also that your content continues to get better and more creative. That can be very hard. As content creators, it's hard to always come up with new and better and fresher ideas, but what I would recommend is actually looking at other content creators' pages. So what I like to do is, it would be a little bit costly to subscribe to a bunch of people, but you can always go to their Twitter and kind of get an idea of what type of content they're posting, and also making friends in the community so that you can ask them what they're doing on their page and ask what creators are doing to get their audience engaged. I like to do games, I like to set up polls, I like to engage with people in the comment section. On OnlyFans, it isn't like any other platform where there's gonna be tons of comments, because people do like to kind of stay anonymous, or if they do wanna message you, they more do it in the DMs. So there's not a ton of comments, but when people do comment, I would highly recommend engaging with those comments and making sure that you're making people feel special and wanted on the platform. So, reminder, good product, happy customer, long-term sub. Like I said, we're talking about how to keep subs before how to gain them. But another thing I want you to keep in mind is how much money you're putting back into your business. Because just like any business, you're going to have to upgrade things. So new outfits, new costumes, new lingerie, new toys. Those are the type of things that I would recommend buying pretty often, not all the time. Obviously, don't spend all your money on things like that, but put money back into your business, whether that is buying promo from girls that look like you or make similar content to you. Make sure you're doing your research on who you're buying promo from. But buying promo is a good way to put money back into your business. Upgrading your equipment is a good way. Buying outfits, buying toys, and maybe even doing photo shoots every once in a while. I really do recommend doing things a little more natural and raw on OnlyFans, because that's what people like there. But every once in a while throwing in a little photo shoot here and there can be really fun just to spice up your content. Now that we've talked about how to keep your subscribers, let's talk about what you're really here for, which is gaining subscribers. And like I mentioned, you have to accept that you are gonna lose subscribers, but that doesn't mean that you can't gain a lot and lose a few, and gain a lot and lose a few, and be actually working your way upwards. You're always going to be losing subscribers, and that's why our business is kind of a never-ending journey. You kind of always have to be promoting and making content, and just like, it never really ends. You always got to be putting 100% into it. So let's talk about the ways that you probably know social media. I'm gonna say another thing that you probably don't want to hear, but is honestly the best advice I can give to anyone who wants to start and grow an OnlyFans and actually do it as a full-time career. You truly have to put in the amount of time you would into a full-time job. You have to realize that this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You know, in the beginning of OnlyFans, I think it was a lot easier for girls to just right off the bat make a lot of money, but in today's age, there are a lot of creators on the platform, and I got a comment recently where someone said, you know, girls aren't actually making a lot of money on OnlyFans, and, you know, I forget what the comment said. It said something like that, like, it's a scam. It is not a scam if you put your all into this platform, but if you're not gonna put your all and you're just gonna expect to like post a topless pic and make a bunch of money, it's not gonna work out for you. If you don't wanna be on social media, it's not gonna work out for you. If you don't wanna spend your entire time on your phone for an entire day at a time, it's not gonna work out for you. If you don't wanna make content every single day of your life, it's not gonna work out for you. And there are ways around making content every single day. I don't mean that like you physically have to make content every single day, but you have to make enough content to be posting every single day on multiple platforms. You have to have enough time to schedule that content out or post that content out every single day. If you don't have that ability, you aren't going to make money on OnlyFans. And I know that's something you probably don't want to hear. You probably want to hear that it's so easy and that you can grow and you can make thousands and thousands of dollars in a week. It's not realistic to think that way. And you have to realize any business is going to take hours out of your day, out of your life to build. Let's jump into social media. You have to build a following on social media. Point blank, period. Whether you're using your face or not, you need to build up your social media platforms. And you need to be across everything because you never know where you might pop off. For me personally, Twitter was where I was able to really get a lot of my following. For one of my students, it is TikTok, and for one of my other students, it's Instagram, but they are across all platforms. I'm across all platforms, but there's places where it just works out for you. Spread yourself across all platforms, put your time and energy into all of them at first, and figure out which ones are really helping you grow, because everyone's different, you know, and it comes down to a lot of different things. It could be the way you look, it could be the way you speak, it could be just the way you interact with people on different platforms and how they interact with you. And there are different people on different platforms. So if your vibe just happens to work out on one of them, you can really put all your time and energy into that. What I would highly recommend for everybody though, is to put in a lot of extra time into Reels on Instagram and into TikTok, and be extremely careful on both of them because they are not suitable for work. NSFW. So you can't really just post whatever you want on there. You can't be nude, you can't even be like semi-nude on there really. Like if you're gonna wear a bikini, that's probably like pushing it, especially on TikTok, whereas Instagram's a little more flexible depending, so I'd still be very careful, but I would still be very careful with like hashtags you use and how much nudity you're showing, and how much skin you're showing on those platforms. But I would 100% put in a lot of effort and energy into making that work, because that is where you're gonna see a lot of traction coming in, and you can get a lot of views and a lot of eyes on you really, really quickly. And we're gonna get into eyes in a little bit, but let's continue on with different platforms. So Instagram, I would highly focus on Reels. TikTok, I would highly focus on that as well. I think those are my top 2 right now. Then I would think about Twitter. Twitter is a great place to connect with other creators because there are so many creators on there, and it is a not suitable for work platform. So you can do hashtags, you can post full nudity on most pages. I know some people can't, depending on what your page, if it's like, I don't really know exactly the terms. I would check on the terms on Twitter, but you can post a lot more. I don't post any like full nudes on Twitter, but it gives me more flexibility with how much skin I post, like more lingerie stuff and swimsuit, bikini type things on Twitter, and you can be a little more adulty on Twitter, and I think it's a great place to connect with creators. The next thing is Reddit, and this one did not work for me, and I wouldn't completely write it off if you are familiar with the app, but if you're not, I would say don't spend too much time on things that are not working for you. So if any of these do not work for you, I would highly focus on the ones that are working for you, but try everything first before deciding that it's not going to work for you, because I know tons of people, Reddit works really well for them. There are lots of not suitable for work forums on Reddit, and so they allow full nudity and all of that. I know that you can only post as much karma as you have or something like that, so you kind of have to build yourself up on Reddit, and that might take a lot of time. So be careful where you put your energy into and just be smart about it. Next thing is Snapchat and YouTube. I know a lot of people will use like Tinder or something, and people will ask, oh, what's your Snap? And then you send them to Snap, and then they kind of use that as a marketing tool to then get them to OnlyFans. If you already have a following on Snapchat, then I would highly recommend using that. But for me, I do not have a Snapchat, so it is not 100% recommended by me. I wouldn't say, if you don't already use Snapchat, I don't know if making one is going to be helpful unless you actually do the Tinder marketing method, which I've heard is really, really good. And basically what that means is you make a Tinder profile, speak with guys, put the ages to like all ages or something like that, speak with guys, and then they'll ask, oh, what's your Snap? Or you can like be like, oh, do you want my Snap? Let's talk over there. You give them your Snap, you message over there, and then you post on your story like, oh, I have an OnlyFans. You can build up your following that way. So now let's get into what I was talking about with eyes. Eyes on the prize, guys. The more eyes, the more opportunity for a new subscriber and more money. This next method is controversial marketing. And controversial marketing is kind of making things a little more aggravating to the viewer so that more eyes are being drawn to your content. Either way, this is all about social media. So you're going to be posting content as often as possible on everything, guys. Like, you should be posting every single day on all platforms, you know, trying different techniques out. But something that has been working for a lot of people is this controversial marketing method, where you're writing something that two different people or two different groups then can argue in the comments. So basically saying things like, who does it better, blondes or brunettes? And people can go in and be like, oh, well, blondes because blondes have more fun, or brunettes because this and that. It's a little bit controversial. People can go at it in the comments, and that brings more attention to your content. And the more engagement that's going on your content, the more the social media platform that you're on is going to push your content out. Obviously, being controversial and aggravating your viewing isn't always going to be a positive thing, but the goal with that is to get as many eyes to your content as possible. And that way you are really exposing yourself to new potential subscribers and buyers and more money. That is a way you can kind of market yourself. Another way is adding curiosity to your page. So like I said, you do have to have social media, but if you are doing like a no face or something like that type of profile, there are ways to add curiosity to figuring out what your OnlyFans is. You could market yourself as a no face on social media, but on OnlyFans you do show your face, so it kind of gives people like, ooh, I wonder what this person looks like, and you do all your content with no face. Or if you do show your face, there's other ways to add curiosity, showing your silhouette in all your videos but never showing your full body, or whatever it is. You can add curiosity in many, many different ways. So curiosity marketing is another way that you can try and stem things. The last thing I want to mention is live streaming, and there are so many different platforms that you can live stream on, and you can also do live streaming on like cam girl sites as well to market your OnlyFans if that's something that you're comfortable with and want to do. That is a great way. You can live stream anywhere, like on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitch, literally so many places. You can also do a YouTube, and I forgot to mention, you can also make YouTube videos where you do try on bikini hauls and things like that that can actually gain traction to your YouTube page and then also to your OnlyFans. You can do things like that. But back to live streaming. Live streaming is a great way to get new eyes to you. Most platforms are not NSFW. On live streaming, you do have to be, you know, covered and all that, unless you're doing a cam girl type thing. But for the most part, you do have to be covered, and you can't really reference the OnlyFans. You can definitely make it known that you have one in many different ways, so get creative. One thing I want to mention is that there's not just one way to market your OnlyFans. Like, you know, there's no discover page, so you do have to get creative with how you choose to market. There's not just like this, you know, secret method to it. It's all about learning how to market a business, and you are your business. So you have to try different methods. You have to explore different ways, learn about marketing tips. Like I said, that controversial marketing has been a really good way that a lot of people have been using. Getting creative with like using Tinder and pulling guys from there, or whatever it is. You have to come up with new creative ways, and it's not gonna be easy. A lot of the times when people watch these type of videos, they're expecting like this one thing that they did that just blew them up. Obviously, you guys can buy promo and stuff like that too, but nothing is gonna be this one-stop shop to like making millions on OnlyFans. You have to put in the work, put in the hours, and put in the time. Just put in the time. You will see results. It might feel tricky at first, but you'll find ways. You'll learn new tips. You'll learn new tricks. You'll try different things, and you'll see growth. You will. I have a whole playlist all about OnlyFans, so if you want to see any more of those videos, please watch those here. And then, like I mentioned, I do have an online course that you can sign up for. It goes through literally everything from the beginning of how to start an OnlyFans all the way into those nitty-gritty details on how to grow, and literally everything if you need that. But also in that course, if you do purchase that online course, you also get access to me. So you get my Telegram and we can message and DM and set up phone calls and really dive into what it is that you need and what type of help you need to grow and build your OnlyFans. So that is all linked down below, and I will see you in the next one.